What's going on, guys? It's the Filthy Casual back with another video. So guys, I'm absolutely stoked. Patch 266 has arrived on the PTR. We've got the season 18 theme, and I thought we'd jump in and have a look at some of the changes. Now, I'll link the patch notes in the video description. I might even put a few shots of it up on screen, but I'm not going to sit here and read them for you because I just think that's a little bit dull. Obviously you can click the link and go do that yourself. Just thought, having played the PTR for a few hours, I'd give you some initial reactions and maybe talk about the changes. So this video basically is going to be 5 awesome things that come from 266. So let's start off with a new game mechanic. The season 18 theme is the season of Triune. Basically you're going to get these extra Oculus rings on hit. So as you can see from the Barbarian on screen, starting at level 1, it's an instantly available buff for everybody. As soon as you hit something, you get what's like an Oculus ring on the ground. They've got different colours. You've got purple, which is power. You've got like a light blue tealy one, which is cooldown reduction. And you've got a darker blue one, which is resource cost reduction. So the power one gives you double power, so you hit like a truck whilst you're in that. Bear in mind this also doubles up with your Oculus ring, so you can get your Oculus ring and your power, which is really nice. Cooldown reduction is absolutely OP, really does bring the cooldown on your skills back very quickly. Can't really say exactly how much it is, but it's noticeable standing in it. And then resource cost reduction is 50%, so if you're hitting something, you know, Hammer of the Ancients for example, it's only going to cost half of the resource. So I think it's a really cool game mechanic. It's great. It's going to be absolutely awesome for grouping, because my understanding is that everybody will spawn these rings on hit. The rings can overlap so that you can get multiple buffs all at one time. So you could in theory be in a power ring, an Oculus ring, a cooldown ring and a resource cost reduction ring all at the same time. And it's incredible. It's just changing the gameplay up. It's what we've wanted for this game for so long, is to really mix up the dynamic, give us something fresh, give us something new, and this is just absolutely amazing. I'm so excited for the season to start. It is just absolutely brilliant. Now on the rings, one thing that you can't do is you can't stack them, so you can't have 2 people both with power rings and you get 100% and 100%. You can only get one buff of one type, but other than that you can mix and match. You know, positioning is going to be great. You're going to, you know, high mobility builds, teleporting, rat runs are going to be absolutely disgusting with this stuff on. It's going to be great. It's going to be a really good season theme. So definitely the best thing out of this is the season theme. It's going to be great. When I first looked at it, I thought it sounds interesting. I thought about it a little bit and thought, it's not going to be very good. But trust me guys, you're going to love this season theme. It's going to be a really good one. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Right, now the next awesome thing to come out of this patch is this Legacy of Dreams legendary gem. This is amazing. This is absolutely brilliant. I've had so much fun in season 17 making Legacy of Nightmares builds, and it was kind of sad that these things were going to go away. A lot of people in the community wanted the Legacy of Nightmares buff to be made permanent, and this is kind of how they've done it. So what this gem does is, when you have no set bonuses, so exactly the same as Legacy of Nightmares, every legendary item you have equipped will increase your damage and reduce your damage taken by 2%. Now the figure I've got at the moment, rank 91, is 345%, but when I do get it up to 99 it goes up to 375%. And importantly, the secondary on there, which is activated at level 25, the bonus is doubled for ancient items. So basically at rank 99 you're going to get 750% extra damage per ancient item and 4% damage reduction. That's exactly the same as Legacy of Nightmares set, but you don't have to wear the rings. Now this change is great because it means that all of the LOM builds that we've come up with are still viable. You just have to lose one legendary gem, so that's a much more palatable way of running a LOM build than actually using the rings. So you know, it is great. Now it's also absolutely amazing for casual players, because if you go back and read this, it applies to legendary items. They don't have to be ancient. So I'll put some screenshots up of the gem at rank 25, rank 50, rank 80, and what you'll see is you're actually getting a pretty big power kick even at quite low levels. So this is great for a couple of things, because one, it's really going to help you get your 6-piece and get your season journey done, because you'll stick this gem in and you'll just be doing loads of damage and have damage reduction. It also means that you can play your Legacy of Nightmares type builds without worrying about every piece being ancient, because you still get this bonus even when the items are legendary. Sure, it's only half the damage and half the damage reduction, but it means that you can just build stuff as you go every season now, forever. Once you get to level 70, you can find this gem and you can start to build your power, build your items, and use what the game gives you. It's like, this season's been so much fun. I've enjoyed it tremendously, and again, absolutely massive thumbs up to Blizzard. This gem is incredible, and I can't wait to test all my LOM builds once I've got this up to 99. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Now, the next thing that is pretty awesome is they've actually changed a few of the legendary items. So again, the patch notes are in the description if you want the actual stats. But we've got these gloves here, the stone gauntlets. It says getting attacked, you'll be slowly turned into stone. What it means is that you get a 50% armor buff, albeit it will reduce your attack speed and your movement speed, and it stacks, so you end up with like an incredible amount of armor, I think 250%, but you end up with reduced movement speed of 75% and reduced attack speed of 100%. So it's going to be quite interesting to play around with. Maybe a build that teleports, that doesn't rely on move speed. Maybe something that's got like an auto cast feature where attack speed again isn't necessarily important. So again, it's interesting. There's going to be something that we can do with this. The Executioner attacks will now slay enemies with less than up to 10% health. Necro's always got Aura of Frailty, which kicks in at 15%, but this is like a 10% health off everything else. Now, as a solo player, you're probably not going to use this item yourself because they're going to be better weapon choices for you. But interestingly, I think you can give this to a follower, so that would be pretty interesting. I've seen somebody say that, so again, worthwhile checking out. Next one, Echoing Fury. Now, this is quite interesting because when you slay enemies, you go into a frenzy. This is a 15% attack speed and 5% movement speed bonus. It stacks 5 times, so that's a whopping 75% attack speed and 25% move speed. So I'm really keen to test this out with the Inarius Necro. Might make it run quicker, might make Pain Enhancer proc even more. Again, very interesting. Super attack speed. There's going to be some stuff to do with this, definitely. There's going to be builds you can make with it, which is great. The Messerschmitt's Reaver. Again, this is a really interesting legendary affix they've added here. Reduce the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you slay an enemy. So you will be able to make some absolutely OP speed builds with this, because if you think about it, if you've got like, I don't know, something like Leapquake or something like Inarius or Veers, something that just melts trash as you go through the rift, your cooldowns will be coming down like crazy. Just think about it, 10 enemies killed, that's 10 seconds off your cooldown. That is just going to be absolutely ridiculous. Again, really interesting change. We've got Squirt's Necklace. There's again, really great change to this. It's a really risk and reward type item now. Whilst not taking damage, your damage delta is increased by up to 100%, but your damage taken is increased by 50%. So you hit harder, but you get hit harder. And I really like that. I think that's an interesting dynamic. You know, if you're a good player and you can avoid damage, this is an item definitely worth taking. Again, really interesting to play around with this. Again, fits really well with Lon. I think you can make some really powerful Lon builds with this. And again, this is another one, Flavor of Time. Pylon effects last twice as long, so that means your cooldown pylon lasts twice as long, your conduit lasts twice as long, power, shield, move speed. Again, speed farming, this is going to be absolutely bananas. So another really interesting change. Now this is a bracer set here. Wrath of the Berserker gains every rune. This is Barb specific. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what we can do with this. All the runes in Wrath of the Berserker is an interesting game mechanic. I'm glad that they've brought this in. I would have liked some more changes for Barb, but we'll roll with what we've got. We can certainly do something with this. Very interesting. So all these legendary affixes, they're really cool. They're mostly unique. They're different. There's going to be some hard choices to make between these items. And again, I think that's absolutely awesome. Obviously I want more, we always want more, but these items being changed are great. Now there is one more item, as I say, it's in the patch notes. It's a gargantuan item. I haven't found it for the Witch Doctor yet, so I can't show it you, but obviously I'm sure at some point we'll get there. But yeah, that's another really awesome change. Again, well done Blizzard. Now, another awesome change I think potentially is this cane set here, because this is a craftable set now, so you've got to refine the plan from dropping it in bounties. But it's the 3-piece that's exciting. When a Greater Keystone drops, there's a 25% chance for an extra one, so you'll be able to put on this set. You know, obviously you'll have to use a Royal Ring of Grandeur and basically use 2 pieces, and you're going to be able to make key farming builds. That's super awesome. Not really great for Necro, because you know, if you take 2 pieces off a Necro, it's just not going to work. So hopefully speaking, they'll add an item to this set, maybe a belt, and that way Necros can use it too. But again, really interesting change. It's going to make farming keystones that much easier. Again, you've also got attack speed and XP bonus whilst wearing this, so again, going to be cool to make some builds. And the last thing that I think is absolutely awesome about this patch is going to be the Sage's set. So Sage's set now has a belt, so that's an awesome change, because it means that every build in the game can now, or every set in the game can now do double DBs, which is awesome. And a really also great thing about this is they've changed it now. This is a recipe that the blacksmith knows as soon as you rank it up to level 12, so he knows it straight away. You don't have to go find the plan, which is obviously really nice. So that's going to give a lot of variety to DB farming. You now don't have to rely on the sets that have got 7 pieces. Necro can now DB farm, which is amazing. It's something that I've been waiting for a long time for. So again, you know, if you want to increase your farming potential with some Sages, now available to every set in the game, which is absolutely brilliant. So they're my 5 things. I think this patch is absolutely awesome. I've played, as I say, quite a lot of PTR. Leveling the character up was so much fun with the power circles. Absolutely brilliant. Now, a quick honourable mention to 2 other things that have changed. We've got another crafted set, the guild set, which has been changed. I can't really see this being overly useful. These numbers don't look particularly great for taking 2 pieces, so you know, you're going to have a royal ring, or you're going to take the full 3 pieces, and all it is a little bit of damage reduction, bit of a damage increase, and a bit of damage against elites. That's not really exciting me too much. I don't think this is going to get used. These numbers probably need to go up a little bit. I suppose in theory you could craft them at level 70 if you wanted and stick them on for a bit of a power boost, but I don't really see this as being particularly game breaking. And then the Captain Crimson set, again, this one's more interesting because the 3-piece is really unique. So your damage goes up depending on your cooldown reduction percentage. So if you get 70% CDR, you get a 70% damage boost, and you also get damage reduction based on your resource cost percentage. So this potentially could work its way in, particularly with the 2-piece giving you 20% RCR and 20% cooldown, as well as a bit of the life per second. So there might well be something we can make out of this. Maybe some kind of build that's going to just give us a little bit of a kick. But again, you're going to have to take the Rogue to only wear 2 pieces, or you're going to be wearing a full 3 pieces. So again, I'm not entirely sure that this is going to make it in, but you know, worth a mention. So guys, that's pretty much all the new information. It's all the new changes for the season, and it's going through all the legendary items and the legendary gem. As I say, I'm absolutely stoked. I think this is brilliant. Next season is going to be a ton of fun. The game's in a really good spot, so let me know in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you think this season theme is good? Are you interested in playing it? Are you happy with the changes, or are you frustrated? Is there something else that you want to see? Now, I may well follow this up with a why this patch sucks video, because there are a few things in it that are a little bit annoying, but that's for another day. So anyway guys, I've been the Filthy Casual, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.